Mike Tyson. The name alone sends chills down spines. The youngest heavyweight champion in history, the man who struck fear into every opponent before the first punch was even thrown. In the ring, he was a savage. Raw power, speed, and pure destruction. Outside the ring, he was unpredictable, volatile, and surrounded by controversy. But behind the knockouts, behind the fame, behind the prison time, the scandals and the chaos lies a darker truth. A secret buried deep inside Tyson's past. Something even his biggest fans do not fully know. Today we dive into the one story the world rarely talks about. This is the dark secret of Mike Tyson that no one knows but everyone should. Before the fame, before the fearsome fists, there was a child, abandoned, angry, and lost. Mike Tyson grew up in the roughest part of Brooklyn, New York. Poverty was not just a condition, it was a way of life. His father was absent. His mother struggled with addiction and could barely support her children. By the age of 7, Tyson had already been arrested. He was fighting in the streets, stealing to survive, and living in constant fear. But here is what most people never hear. Tyson was not just a street kid. He was a deeply traumatized and emotionally wounded boy. He was bullied, beaten, and even sexually abused as a child. Yes, Mike Tyson, the most feared fighter on earth, revealed in a rare interview that a man once snatched him off the street and assaulted him. Tyson never spoke about it for years. He buried the pain under violence. That was the seed, the trauma that would one day explode into the fighter the world came to know. Mike's life changed when he was sent to a juvenile detention center, try-in school for boys. It was there that a counselor saw something in him and introduced him to boxing. Soon, legendary trainer Cus D'Amato entered the picture. Cus became a father figure, mentor, and savior all in one. But what most people do not realize is how psychological Tyson's transformation really was. Cus did not just teach Tyson how to fight, he reprogrammed him. He filled his head with ideas of destiny, fearlessness, and invincibility. Cus believed fear was the key to control, and he trained Tyson to weaponize it. Every time Tyson stepped into the ring, he was not just fighting an opponent. He was fighting to prove his worth to the one man who gave him a reason to live. And when Cus died in 1985, just before Tyson turned professional, a part of Tyson died with him. That emotional wound never healed, and it would open wider as Tyson's fame grew. Tyson rose fast. He destroyed opponents, won the heavyweight championship at 20, and became an international superstar. But beneath the spotlight, something dark was growing. Tyson was unstable, reckless, and consumed by rage. He would later admit that during his prime, he was addicted to power, to control, and to pain. He was not just fighting for glory, he was fighting because it was the only place he felt alive. Outside the ring, he spiraled. He physically abused his wife, Robin Givens. He assaulted people in public. He surrounded himself with yes men, gang members, and parasites. He burned through hundreds of millions of dollars. And the secret here is not the behavior, it is the reason behind it. Tyson was crying for help, but no one was listening. He was a victim-turned-monster, and the world was too entertained to ask why. In 1992, Mike Tyson was convicted of rape and sentenced to 6 years in prison. He served 3. To this day, Tyson maintains his innocence, while his accuser remains firm in her story. But the prison years were not just about guilt or innocence. They were about transformation. Locked away, stripped of fame, Tyson had time to reflect. He read philosophy. He converted to Islam. He thought about the people he had hurt and the pain he had buried. Tyson would later say that prison saved him. But most fans never ask what he was really saved from. The answer is himself. He was a man out of control, and without that forced pause, he might not be alive today. But the darkest truth, he came out of prison broken, not healed. After prison, Tyson returned, but he was never the same. The 1997 rematch with Evander Holyfield would become one of the most infamous moments in sports history. Tyson, frustrated, overwhelmed, and outboxed, bit off a piece of Holyfield's ear. It was not just a cheap shot, it was a cry for help, a sign of a man so desperate, so unhinged, that he literally could not process the moment. After that, Tyson's career unraveled. He lost to lesser fighters. He admitted he fought only for money. He told reporters he wanted to hurt people. He said he hated himself. And that is the part people forget. Behind the aggression was deep, brutal self-hatred. Tyson did not hate his opponents. He hated Mike Tyson, and that is the darkest secret of all. Then something unexpected happened. Tyson disappeared from boxing and reappeared in comedy, television, and acting. He opened up about his mental health. He cried in interviews. He admitted to being scared of himself. He started a podcast. He became a businessman, a cannabis farmer, a philosopher. But beneath the humor and the wisdom is still the scarred man who once roamed the streets of Brooklyn with nothing but rage in his chest. In one interview, Tyson broke down in tears saying, "I miss the old me, but I am scared of him." That is the Tyson the world rarely sees. Not Iron Mike, but Michael, the broken boy still trying to make peace with himself. So what is the dark secret of Mike Tyson? It is not the violence, it is not the prison sentence, it is not the bite. The real secret is that Mike Tyson was never a monster. He was a boy who never got to be a child, a boy shaped by violence, then rewarded for it. He was a mirror, showing us how pain turns into rage and how fame covers up trauma. Tyson's real fight was never against his opponents. It was against the ghosts inside him, and for years he lost. That is the truth no one likes to tell, because it is easier to cheer for the knockouts than to face the reality of who we are as a society. Today, Mike Tyson is a husband, a father, and a man trying to rewrite his story, but the past never fully leaves. The abuse, the violence, the regret, they linger, and maybe that is the real lesson here, that even legends bleed, even giants cry, and sometimes the most dangerous men are the most broken. Mike Tyson's life is not just a story of boxing. It is a story of pain, power, and redemption. And maybe, just maybe, it is not too late for peace.